What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to a long-awaited Coast to Coast podcast. Griffin is back today. We're going to talk
back.
Some NBA draft, our signature, talk about our big boards. But first and foremost, we got to dive into these playoffs right now. As round one, series are tied. Teams are about to win, so on and so forth. But first and foremost, Griff, how we doing? I know you went to game 3. How was it?
It was game two. It was good though. It was good. My first ever playoff game I've ever been to. The energy was there. It was fun. We had some diehard Westbrook fans sitting close to us who got kicked out. It was hilarious, but it was great. It was great. But we were the top row, so don't ever call me a fake fan. I was there.
Yeah.
So it was fun though.
At the time of the recording right now, I'm currently waiting to snipe some tickets to go to the game in 2 hours. So we'll see how that because they're like $50 right now, but I want to see if I can get cheaper or even a little bit more expensive down low. So we'll see.
We're recording on Monday the 24th, by the way.
Yes, this podcast should be out by on Tuesday the 25th. But let's just dive straight into it. I mean, we got one series over with. I mean, Brooklyn, no surprise, gets swept by Philly. I mean, any thoughts there? I think that's pretty much what we expected. A team that was given a playoff spot because of previous players.
Yeah, really, I think the meteoric rise of Mikal Bridges kind of maybe clouded that this team had a losing record post-trade deadline. And I wasn't really expecting a whole lot from them in the playoffs. Maybe best world possible for the Nets. They win 2 games in the first round, but I expect them to lose in the first round. So nothing really that surprising there. But what have you thought about the Sixers so far? To me, this series hasn't dissuaded me from them at all, but it also hasn't made me they're a real, they could make, I still think they can make the finals, but I wouldn't say they're after this series, they're a favorite or anything. What do you think?
I mean, they haven't been extremely impressive. I mean, obviously, Joel Embiid didn't play in that game 4 through the injury, but, we saw Paul Reed step up and play decently. But, I mean, James Harden's been kind of the center of attention for a lot of, hate recently. I forgot. I think it was maybe Colin Cowherd was calling him a glorified role player that just gets paid a $30 million contract.
Yeah.
But, isn't Tobias Harris that at the end of the day? So, I don't know. I don't think this team has shown enough because they probably didn't take this series as serious as they needed to because anyone could have any of the playoff teams right now, maybe besides Atlanta, probably could have swept this team. So at the end of the day, that's what it is. I just need to see a dominant MB game. I don't think it was all sub 30-point games, which sure, that's good, but I mean, he only averaged 20 and 11 in the playoffs with Tyrese Maxey leading the team in scoring. But, I mean, nothing moving away.
Yeah, just Harden, he's we've seen over the past couple of years, he has not been that great of a playoff player. So he kind of worries me a little bit going forward. But, again, nothing that would nothing stood out to me in this series. It was kind of a nothing series because they were playing a lame duck Nets team.
Yeah. I mean, Harden did shoot 34 from the field, so that's pretty bad. And he got 46. And, I mean, you got to expect more of a guy he's winning MVP this year. There's, no doubt about that. That trophy, whether he's still in the playoffs or out of the playoffs, it's going to be I mean, I think it's pretty clear at this point. But, no, I mean, I don't think there's too much to say about them. So, I guess we can move on. What series you want to mention next? Let's jump into your Suns because I think – we got to give someone their roses. I mean, their team's going to lose, but I think Russell Westbrook deserves his spot.
Absolutely. I think after the Lakers thing happened, I thought he was probably maybe would die on the vine with this team. He would, Ty Lue probably wouldn't just play him at all in the playoffs. Just eventually they would figure out that Westbrook is not the same guy he was, but really he is genuinely rejuvenated his career on the Clippers. He's playing the best basketball he's played in years. Defensively, he's playing incredibly. Also improved his 3-point shot a lot. Just really, really doing a great job. And the Clippers are doing a great job considering all the injury circumstances that they have gone through. And if this was if the Clippers were healthy, which is kind of a big if with them because they're always banged up, but if they were, I don't see this series going as well as it is going for the Suns right now. But I kind of do. I am a Suns fan, and I have not loved what I've seen at all. I think the injury to KD, the second injury that he had this season after he got traded to the Suns, and he only played 3 games, and then he got injured pregame after slipping on some water, really was a bigger thing than people made it because they have no KD's really been deferring a lot when it comes to the offense. Like, he's really been deferring to Book, and he's passing way more than I think I'd like him to. It just doesn't seem like it still feels like a new guy feel to the team right now. And it still definitely feels like Book's team. Ayton has not impressed me really all that much. Chris Paul has played well, but the bench has also really let me down, and so is Monty's rotations. Landry Shamet cannot play in a playoff series. Bismack Biyombo cannot play in a playoff series. It's been rough. Bismack has done decent on the defensive end, but he is a net negative on the offensive end. But overall, I feel like as they play more games together, things will hopefully start to line up better for the Suns. But right now, I'm not that optimistic about them going forward.
Now, I'm trying to recall which game it was. I think, was it game 1 was that DeAndre Ayton disaster class?
Yeah,
like,
probably.
He was running like ISO balls and like taking like mid-range jumpers. Like,
the mid-range jumper at the top of the key is his bread and butter. But also like it was not falling. It was not falling that game, and they're the one they're kind of daring to shoot with that. I think they'll like allow them, like if DeAndre Ayton goes off with the mid-range top of the key jumper, I think Ty Lue will live with that. So they're kind of giving it to him all day. But yeah, he just like, oh my God, I need to pull this quote up. He had a quote today at Media Day.
Dominating thing?
Oh my God, it's so bad. I need to read this for everybody. It's so bad. God, where is it? I found it. All right. DeAndre Ayton on people questioning his motor, because I have done this since he got drafted. I don't see intensity when he's on the floor, except really when he plays the Nuggets. Like, he really balls out when he plays the Nuggets, but besides that, he's not really like an intense guy. But this is what he said. Man, I don't know what that is. Motor? Come on. I play both ends of the floor. My name is Dominatin'. I anchor the Phoenix Suns on both ends of the floor. Motorman? Really? Nope. I run on a Tesla battery. Bro, side eye. That's crazy. That is crazy.
I thought that was fake what he said there. Like,
yeah, no, that's a real quote from DeAndre Ayton.
That's crazy. Like, that's something like you'd see like Kevin Durant like Twitter like 2014. Like, that's the kind of like thing I've seen there. Like,
so like
Jennifer Lawrence's bathwater or whatever. Like, that's the kind of level of stuff I've seen.
But like overall with the Suns, like, this hasn't dissuaded my title hopes that much because I don't think there's a truly great team in the league right now. I think every team has flaws that can be exploited, and the Suns definitely have that. But I think when you have guys like Devin Booker and Kevin Durant on the floor at the same time, you have a shot at winning every single game. So, like, not the worst it could be right now, but also I haven't been that impressed.
Yeah. And
what about your Warriors? How you feeling?
I mean, we might have just caught a break. I mean,
poor De'Aaron Fox.
An hour ago, by the time we're recording, De'Aaron Fox, it came out that he fractured the tip of like his left index finger. I believe that's what it was.
Yeah.
His status is questionable. He's not ruled out entirely for Game 5, but that's a must-win game. I mean, if you're up 3-2 and then you get if the Warriors win that game, they get a chance at home to close out or another chance. And if for the Kings, if they win that game, they get a chance to win on the road or close out at home, which is even better.
Kings definitely need that game because the Warriors not a good road team this year, and like that would have been extremely helpful. This is just such a huge blow to them, and again, Sacramento Kings fans, I feel really bad for you. Like, this was a great shot up 2-0, and now it's 2-2 with De'Aaron Fox injured. It's not looking good.
No, I mean, Steph has proven time and time again that he's, time does not wear anything on him. People are saying Fox is outplaying him, blah, blah, blah. If you look at the averages, I mean, it's pretty much identical, and Curry's shooting better from the field. But not to dismiss Fox. I mean, if they win this series, like, he is well on his way to being like, a top 10 player, not a point guard. He's already way above that.
Yeah.
Player in this league, the way that he's been in these playoffs. I feel like, I love the move of putting Draymond off the bench. I thought it was really beneficial, to let, Looney be that main guy out there and allow Poole to be out there to allow that spacing. I think that was good, especially to contrast the fact that, you got big wings for the Kings with Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray, and Domantas Sabonis down low. So I thought that was well. I mean, I thought Barnes hit the shot to win the game. I was really worried about that. Twitter was about to go in a frenzy. I was tweeting about that. If that happened, the revenge arc would have been insane.
That would have been crazy. But
I think Draymond said something on his podcast, or it was like someone made a fake tweet, that's why he left anyway, because he couldn't make big shots. But man needs to stop with his podcast. Let us do that. You don't need to be podcasting.
Draymond, wait for the offseason, bro.
4 minutes after a game.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm confident. I think we had the momentum right. I mean, obviously we've won 2 in a row, but, we're not a good road team. I mean, if we lose by 20 points next game, I'm not going to be entirely surprised. But
you guys just need one road game, to be honest. That's all you need.
Because we're a good home team, and they're a good home team. So, I mean, and we're terrible on the road.
But really, I think you guys have done a really good job these past 2 games, and I really think you guys have done an excellent job on Sabonis. I feel like you guys are just in his head right now, and he has not been the offensive guy that you need. He's been good on getting rebounds and shit like that. But,
and then shout out Moses Moody. I mean, a guy that's seen as the second guy from that draft class with Kuminga. Kuminga's been basically irrelevant in these playoffs.
The cum bucket.
Horrendously. I mean, Moody is shooting amazing from the field and from deep. So just shout out him. So let's look into some other series. The Cavs and the Knicks. I think last time we did the pod with Chol and Jose, I said the Knicks would win. I think I was the only one that said that, and it looks like it's going that way. I mean, Randall hasn't been great in the playoffs, but that's kind of his MO. It's been mainly Brunson. RJ Barrett stepped up. I'm not giving him any flowers yet. RJ Barrett's extremely overrated in my opinion. He's just never developed the guy you expect him to be. And he won't if he's the third option on this team, especially in New York. I think there's too much pressure for him. That's kind of the reason why his career is where it is. But
I feel with RJ Barrett, I feel like the last game that he played, he's kind of been playing super well. And I think the Knicks crowd was kind of behind him. A really good – this was on the Bill Simmons podcast. They mentioned this today, but really good Knicks crowd performance, hyping RJ Barrett up, making sure after he made a shot, they'd let him know, we appreciate you. But really, Julius Randle, not a good playoff player, so far that we've seen in his career, but it doesn't really matter when you have Jalen Brunson on your team, just balling the fuck out. He's been incredible. And really Josh Hart, what dude is definition of a winning player, incredible, but really incredible by you to have that Knicks pick. I would have picked, I didn't dive that deep before the playoffs, into predictions and stuff. But cursor area, I was oh, I'm sure the Cavs should win this. They have 4 players on their team who could and have who had the potential to be all-stars and have been all-stars on their roster. And they're honestly kind of giving me Phoenix Suns vibes right now, which is where they have 4 guys and no one else. And right now, and the Suns have Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, which are both better players than anybody on the Cavs right now. And you can't have a Donovan Mitchell performance like you had last game. It's just, you can't do that. So I don't know. Cleveland, to me, something's not working right now. And I think it might be coaching. Also the bench, a lot of guys aren't giving you anything. So, but props to the Knicks. The Knicks look really good right now, and the league is better when the Knicks are good. So I'm happy. Yeah,
I think it's the floor. I think this is the ceiling for them, though. I think they win this round, and then they can give a team 6 games, maybe. I don't think.
If Giannis is hurt long term, they could go to the conference finals.
I would take the Heat over them if they matched up.
Really?
I think the Heat give everyone that they face.
The Heat are the most annoying team ever.
I did see the Knicks beat the Heat live here in Miami, but that took a 47.
That was a butter beat. Yeah.
47-point game from Randall. I mean, just to emphasize, Randall's been shooting 32 from the field, 25.8 from three, and Barrett's been shooting 41.8 from the field and 20% from three. So, I mean, when it comes to efficiency, their best guy is Hart. So it's kind of, on a night-to-night basis with them right now in these playoffs.
Yeah.
It's going to be, good for them. But, and then, I mean, we've seen, I think it's 2 disaster classes from Darius Garland this series. I believe game 1 and game 3. So not what we like to see. This team is just they're ahead of themselves right now. I think everyone knows that everyone I've ever talked to about the Cavs, they need to get that 3 in place. Isaac Okoro, we thought, he was potentially would be the answer, highly drafted, I think top 7 pick from Auburn. Hasn't become the guy that he was expected to be. They need to get, a 3, a solid wing. It can't be LeVert. LeVert's the guy that needs to be your bench, plug-and-play scorer. I think, Brooklyn would never trade him now, but, it would have been sick if they got a guy like Mikal Bridges, just even for the defensive aspect and, his ability to make shots. But I think more realistic
they would be a good, Anunoby team.
Realistic options would be guys in the the Josh Hart realm. So whoever you want to throw.
Yeah, like good wing players who are on bad teams, so the teams will sell draft picks for. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. I mean, that's what you got to look for. I mean, even maybe a Devin Vassell from the Spurs. I think that might be too much. I don't know if they'd be able to get him, but even if it's a Jay Sean Tate or it's kind of fumbling to find some names right now, but
but
a guy
that.
They
need something. They need a cement another starter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, doesn't need to be a shot creator. You got 2 of those in the team. And Mobley still hasn't developed entirely offensively. He's a beast defensively, but he's still got ways to go.
Yeah.
Then I don't think we really need to talk about the Celtics and the Hawks. I mean,
yeah,
the series is going to be
Celtics are going to win that next game.
Nuggets, Timberwolves, not much to say there. Horrendous.
Nugget. If you're an elite team who's going to win the NBA championship, you should sweep that team.
And you should have closed out last night.
Yeah, you should have closed out last night. I'm not going to lie. They felt everybody but Jokic was lackadaisical last night. It was not good. So that gives me some hope for next round. Knock on wood for the Suns.
The Grizzlies and the Lakers series so far.
I mean, didn't Colin Cowherd say this? If your number one weapon is to throw Dylan Brooks at someone, just try to get under their skin, you're kind of fucked. It's not good. Bro, he's your secret weapon, Dylan Brooks, dog. I don't know. Shout out to the Lakers, man. I love my glorious king, being up in a series right now. But D'Angelo Russell has not been good. Shout out Austin Reeves, though. He has been good.
Shout out Rui Hachimura.
Shout out Rui Hachimura for sure.
Game series.
Yeah. So I'm thinking the Lakers probably, if I had to guess right now, Lakers probably close out this series. I have not really been that impressed with Memphis, and Memphis feels again, maybe a little ahead of schedule. They need another star on their team to truly be a contender. So,
yeah. I mean, Bane's good, but he's a 3, realistically.
Yeah.
Or he needs to be 2A. You need a real 2B. I don't think Jackson can really be that.
Really good on the defensive end for sure, but I don't know if he's giving you that offense consistently.
And you're right. I mean, Dylan Brooks is just a shot chucker. He's averaging 32.5% from the field and 25 from 3. I mean,
I'm sure the Lakers would have liked him to stay in that game where he got ejected because he was just such a net negative. I don't know. He's just not good. He's just really bad. The only thing he would be good against is a younger star who you could get under his skin, but not someone like LeBron, bro, who's been in the league for 20 years. I just don't see it.
I'm surprised Tyus Jones has been so bad. He's shooting 8% from 3 in the series.
Damn, 8%?
Yes.
He needs to be better.
Go out there, who knows? I mean, I ain't trying to say nothing, but
well, I fixed my jumper.
Hey, time will tell. Xavier Tillman, though. I mean, and is there anything else you want to mention with the Bucks and Heat before we hop in?
Yeah. Even if I don't know, I think this series
tonight determines a lot.
Yeah, tonight will definitely determine a lot. If the Heat can win tonight, I think the Heat got this. But I don't know if Giannis can come back. It's just that like when he tried to play after he got injured and like he couldn't really do anything, that was really really shocking to me. And Giannis being out 2 games in a row in the playoffs shows me that something is really like actually wrong. So I don't know. Like I just think without Giannis, this series is a lot closer, and I think the Heat maybe have 2 of the best 3 players in this series now with Jimmy Butler and Bam, and maybe yeah. So and Holiday's the only one on the other team that because I think Chris Middleton isn't like the same guy.
He's a show up himself.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think the Heat probably, if Giannis does not come back, you change the expectations for the Heat season for sure. They can maybe make the conference finals.
Yeah. They're up 2-1. Who knows? I might be there in an hour and a half, but we'll see. We'll be